session. I gotta make a correction. My fault. Executive session was for legal matters, not personnel matters.
Thank you.
Okay, I need a motion to approve the minutes.
I make a motion we approve last month's council meeting minutes.
Any second? Okay, so all those in favor? Mayor's report.
For the month of January, we had 10 traffic citations with 5 warnings. In non-traffic, you had in 1 public drunkenness, 1 scattering rubbish and trash, 2 DUIs, 2 issues of bad checks, and ordinance violations, parking with snow removal related items. As a general reminder, it's against the borough ordinance to throw, blow, or plow snow into the public streets or alleyways. It is the residents' responsibility to safely stack or remove snow from the streets or access parking areas and the sidewalks. Due to the winter conditions, please allow proper stopping distance between the approaching intersections to avoid skidding and possible resulting accidents. While every effort is being made by the road crews to keep the street intersections clear, it's the responsibility of drivers to control their vehicles and maintain them for accident free.
I have a few comments. When our officers stop somebody, they feel they're under the influence of alcohol, it's necessary to take them to the hospital, and we're supposed to furnish a blood drawing kit for the hospital to take blood samples. It's brought to my attention that we haven't been supplying our officers with these kits, that they've been borrowed either from the state police or another local police department. So I'd like to ask the council to purchase blood alcohol collection kits. There's 25 to a carton at the cost of $192.22. The other issue is, I hopefully everybody got my notice of the 2001 Chevy Impala police car. The transmission has a problem. I'm not sure if it's completely shot or it needs replaced, but I got 2 bids. One from Walker, $3,158, $3,158.75, and one from Taylor's Auto Repair in Fort City for $2,465.16. I'd like to have a decision from council on what we're going to do with the police vehicle.
Do you have a recommendation or opinion on that, Jim?
Yeah, it's too old to fix.
And then what would be our other options?
Go to one vehicle or look in for purchasing a new vehicle or a new used vehicle,
I know
but that's up to
the
council.
sheriff's department just bought some, they didn't buy new vehicles, they bought used vehicles out of the police department.
We went to use one off East Grade. The SUV, it's worked out pretty good. How many miles is on that?
78,000?
That's not very high.
All right. Well, we'll discuss that here when we get done finished business, make a decision what we're going to do.
Did you get that, my email?
Yes, I did. I looked about it.
Anything else, Jim?
No, that's it.
All right, go to committee reports. Public Works.
Well, we had to get four tires for the Ford. That's a lot of money.
For the new one?
No, oh, well,
The old one?
yeah, the old Ford, yeah. And we're gonna have to get something for the new one. Some type of tire, because those ones that are on there, they don't dig at all, they don't do nothing. So,
Yeah, that came with
some
So we're
trips.
scanning
Yeah,
the issue,
yeah, we scan
trash
it.
truck, pickup truck, and not diggers, or not snow, and
Yeah.
tires, and we believe we do need those.
You need something with cleats on
Yeah, we need something for digging, so.
Okay, I don't know whether, he doesn't size truck tires or not, but he has really, really good prices. I mean, he can beat, I know when I get truck,
Where?
down across from the Chevy garage, the old Chevy garage, K corner.
Oh, that's.
Oh.
There, we, yes.
I know when I get tires for my truck, I go down there and get them off of them, and
Well, let's get some bits from, you know,
they're so much cheaper than what's.
and they're the same,
I could
compare apples to apples.
Oh, yes, it's the exact same.
Okay.
But I don't know if he does the bigger truck.
it. It has to get out and talk to
Well,
you.
you can, or, I mean,
Yeah.
just say, you know, give us a price. I mean, I know he doesn't want to have a large inventory, not a large truck tires, but if we tell him to order, what's the price?
Well, that's what he does.
already, so-
When you get down, he doesn't keep the inventory. You get down and tell him what you want, then he orders. He usually has them in a couple of days.
So let's get prices from Flynn's and from him, and then, so somewhere else, let's get the lowest price. But we do need them ASAP, because we're only halfway through winter.
Okay,
You know where he's at down there.
yeah, that's that triple or quad
Yeah,
A. or
quad A,
whatever. Yeah, quad A or whatever.
Here on Chevy. The old truck. It had,
The transmission.
no, it had to have, bolts put in, what was it, in the transmission or on the, it was on the drive shaft, the axle shaft. The bolts sheared off.
From not being tight in the first place.
Huh?
From not
Yeah.
being tight in the first place, or just from torque, or what?
It was just torque. And that was replaced here 2 weeks ago. It was
Wow.
taken out to Worthington Diesel,
Okay.
and they had it done in one day.
Good.
Okay, yeah, I didn't know that.
See, I think they're Anything else, Eddie?
Well, like you said with that new schedule, that was doing great.
Did you get all the salt, everything?
No, we haven't got it moved
No.
from down yet.
Okay.
The day we were gonna move it down, that's when all the heck broke loose with all these storms.
Are they using it up there?
They used some of it up there, and it's, with the way the work schedule's been working out, we've been using the salt out of the salt shed and so on. Because one guy can run the backhoe, load up his truck and get out,
Yeah.
while he make a phone call for the next guy to come in.
How's the mixing going over there, what we have? All right. We'll address that.
It's working out, but the building should have been bigger.
Okay.
But
No,
we've,
they can learn to deal with
yeah, they've been dealing with it. We've had 4 loads of salt in, we just had one in last Friday. And
How
our
many
salt
was
shed,
the same?
we've had 4 loads brought in this year so far.
The Vanos.
I don't know how many of those.
it. Anything else? No buildings?
Can't think of anything, can you either?
No.
Building? Shade tree? Finance, insurance? Personnel?
Nothing.
Police?
Nothing going on. Oh,
All right, then we'll go to unfinished business. Okay, first thing, police car. You gotta make a decision on what we're going to do with police car.
Mr. President, in lieu of the fact that it is relatively low mileage, if it would be a high mileage vehicle and that kind of a cost would come up for transmission, I'd say, let's start looking. But due to the fact that it only has 78,000 miles on it, I think we should maybe fix the transmission. That's my opinion.
Yeah, but how many times that transmission?
We just, what I'm looking at is what did we put into it last year? We put over $1,500 into it last year too. And now put another, you know,
Yeah,
2,500 would say, there's all $4,000 you put in 2 years.
yeah.
I
But
know
then,
there was a transmission put in it whenever I was there.
but you know, what are we gonna get? You know, you can put $2,500 into it, or go out and look for a half-decent used vehicle, what are you gonna put into that? And then find one.
That's true too.
I mean, we're between a rock and a hard place.
You know, if the car was a little bit newer, I mean, you know, sure, it's, you know, it's 78,000 miles, isn't a lot of miles. But when a car gets to that age, regardless of whether there's 78,000 on it or there's 100,000 on it, this stuff just
I know, it's a flip of a coin.
year after year, well, probably not months after months after months, something's
We don't
going
want
on.
to budget.
Yeah. Well, what,
Well, this, the guarantee is for 3 years or 100,000 miles. There is a guarantee that comes with it,
With both quotes,
yes.
yeah, they're both the
there's a
same.
significant difference. Having
Parts and labor.
genuine parts.
Yeah, that's it. Parts and,
Well, Taylor uses parts from Jasper. What is it, Jasper engine and
transmission.
transmission. And I know enough about them, there's nothing, they're just as good, if not better than factory
It's going
ones.
here.
You
So
know.
if we can use that, get that probably the cheapest route.
Well, it's council's pleasure here, what do they want to do? Take the lowest bid, get it fixed by Taylor, or wait another month, do some investigation to see if we can find something else.
Is that gonna hamper the police department's activities,
I
being
think-
limited to one vehicle?
Is it Bob?
As long as we don't have another breakdown, we're good. Otherwise, it's the Hoof City.
You can always take a board truck.
Yeah.
They tried that in Ford City and they got fined for it.
Let me ask you this, do you know, Bob, do you know if there's any type of grant money out there or anything for
Well, we're part of
police vehicles?
the municipal agency portion of it, as part of the piggyback program with the state. So if you go from new, they have that. As far as stuff for used vehicles, there wouldn't be any grants available for used. They only come out for new vehicles only because if they're gonna put money out, they want it into something that's brand new. There are some locations that I've dealt with in the past here for other agencies that do handle and refurbish police cars. In other words, they go out and buy, and they completely go through them and whatever else. So if necessary, we can go ahead and check a couple different locations there and see if there's anything available and what kind of price ranges that would entail. I know a couple of the local police departments in our area that have some of the newer vehicles have their regular setup going. Every so many years they purchase a new police vehicle, they have it set within their budget. Some of those vehicles are coming up also. They would be 3 years to 4 years old, with whatever miles that they would have on them, and then what types of vehicles is just going to be whatever that they're doing. Yes, sir.
Now, what are they going with? Rear wheel or front wheel?
Most of the agencies now and all the current police vehicles that are coming out are mostly either rear wheel or four-wheel drive.
Right.
Even if the Dodge Chargers, they're an all-wheel drive vehicle. The new Chevy Impalas, the new Ford, the Taurus base, ground base they have there for the police vehicles. They come out in all-wheel drive vehicles, and then then they go right into the SUV categories with everything. They're finding that by putting a more durable platform underneath them, that they seem to last a little longer. They unfortunately quit making Crown Victorias, and they were pretty much a tank. They're a good vehicle and they lasted long, you know, and drove real well and all that kind of thing, but they don't make them anymore. So,
The thing about all-wheel drive vehicles, though, when you replace the tires, and then you have to replace all 4 tires.
yes,
So, I mean, that's an added expense that,
but when we're doing tire replacements, generally all our 4 tires go out pretty much one time, because we keep them rotated, you know, with our normal oil changes and things of that nature. So when we're ready for tires, we're ready for tires. And that portion of it, we have the contract with the state under the piggyback program. Your municipal police can get tires at state cost. So we do tire replacement. The only agency that we deal with now currently is Flynn's, because they provide the same service contract for the state. So you can get those at a lower rate. We get, you know, a higher speed, higher rated tires, you know, for a deeply discounted rate.
thank you.
I would like to just table for now and look into some other alternatives, and if, you know,
That's fine.
if nothing's, you know, we're only looking at 4 weeks to the next meeting, and between now and then, looking to,
I'll be looking into that.
into
Just
some,
around around.
I'll even stop down at White's office to see if there's anything
Okay.
out there.
I agree with that.
I mean, the Explorer, what year is the Explorer?
2005.
2005.
The car's 14 years old,
How many miles is on it?
48,000.
I don't foresee us having any
No,
problems
but we
with
just
it.
don't want to drive
His Trailblazer was
I think
178,000
waiting
in
another month,
2003.
just to explore other alternatives.
it.
You know, if we don't find anything, we'll get it fixed.
Okay.
Okay, other unfinished business, anybody else? have any?
Those kits,
I thought-
it's hard to get them.
I was gonna bring it up in the new business.
How many's in the package again, Jim?
25.
25.
Do they make that Ford Interceptor yet?
It's in the tourist model style. It's in the tourist model
Wow. Do these have an expiration date on them?
style. Yeah, they're generally used within a 3 to 5 year period of time, depending on the types of organic chemicals that are within the, like our blood collection kits, we're getting a little technical or whatever, but they have to have a certain type of chemical in there so that it keeps the blood from agglutinating, and it also keeps it in a form of suspended so that it doesn't taint the alcohol or drug condition that's in that blood at that point in time. So that's the reason why the test kits are kind of costly, because they end up having multiple chemicals within the tubes here that your collection is in.
That should last us a good while, a couple of years maybe, 25.
Well, we generally are getting 2 or 3 a month.
Oh.
Okay, well, if we run out, we'll order more. I mean,
Yeah,
I'd
and
be more
what
concerned
ends
with
up coming with it is,
not going bad, but I don't think they're gonna do bad if you're using that money.
no, and what generally ends up happening is, you know, you get your reimbursement we apply for also. Reimbursement to the municipality always comes through whatever the court sets up as a, you know, like we get for, if we have to have a drug sample done, we send it off to NMS Labs, we have to pay for it. We put the costs as far as the mailing in, included for the testing that's involved. That can be anywhere from $400 to $600-800, depending on how many drugs that are in the system. And at that point in time, then, if you're convicted of that offense, the court mandates that you pay restitution for all items. So we put in for restitution on any of the items that are there. Kits would be one of those restitution items that we would include in on. It'll just take you a while to get your money back. If you're paying $25 a month, you might pay for a while.
Okay, any other unfinished business?
Yes. About a month and a half, 2 months ago,
Wait a minute, excuse me.
uh,
You taking a vote on this?
I said we'll bring up a new business.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
as I was stating, 2 meetings ago, I brought up about the traffic light down on Arthur in the Butler Road. it's gonna have to be fixed. One council member brought up, they thought it would be covered under insurance. It is not covered under insurance. It is a malfunction of the equipment. It's not a power surge, and it wasn't hit by lightning. The insurance company investigated it. I have a letter here stating what they cover down there and what they don't cover. And it is not covered by,
Is it equipment malfunction?
it's partly a power surge, which we do not have a clause in our insurance.
I thought you said it wasn't a power surge.
It's designated as a power surge, not lightning, that's what I wanted to say. And there have been no lightning down there to burn anything out. And you know, here in the borough, the lights go on and off periodically.
So it could possibly be a power surge from the power company itself that caused this?
It's not a power surge. If you call them up and ask them why the power goes on and off, they can tell you the chipmunk got into one of the insulators and chewed the wire off. That's the explanation I keep getting when I call.
What's the cost of the repair?
$825. And it's been recommended by the insurance company that we do get it fixed, because if there's a wreck there, head-on collision, somebody gets killed, the borough is going to be held responsible.
Well, can we add this instance to our insurance policy? Or why was it included initially, or?
No, there is
Are you not
no,
able to?
there is no way to put a power surge clause into the insurance. They'll cover lightning, they'll cover somebody running into it, and say if a hurricane, tornado or something, they'll go.
I'll read it here to you, exclusions.
Clause.
Artificially generated current creating a short circuit or other electrical disturbance within an item covered under this
Okay.
coverage form.
But I've talked with John, John's talked with the insurance company, we've talked with the adjuster, and we all get the same answer. And we got this letter stating from ES&S and from Selective Insurance who were covered under.
See, that's what I don't like about Penn. They put lights up, then you have to take the responsibility.
They try to do that for the one at 30 Farm Road.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't even benefit Western County as much as it benefited North Buffalo Township.
That's something, to get it through the records. Now that you mentioned that, when they were doing that intersection, me, Kenny and I were out in Bedford, East Franklin, North Buffalo. And it was my understanding that the agreement, I'm gonna have to find the agreement that we signed or agreed to was they were gonna pay for the traffic study and the upkeep of the lights. All we were gonna pay was for the electric. And somehow we're paying for the upkeep of those lights too. But I'm
Yeah,
almost 100% sure that's what we agreed to, but I have to find the
I think
agreement.
you're right. They wanted to pay, well, they wanted us to pay for the traffic study too.
Yeah,
Okay,
So that's, what's your recommendation, Henry?
we gotta get it fixed.
What's the form of the motion?
I want a motion that we go ahead and go to Traffic System Services down in Campbell's Run Road. And I can talk to John, who I've been talking to, who's a manager down there, to get this fixed.
Henry, any second? All those in favor?
Yeah, that should be fixed last year.
Yeah, it's been, in the last 2 weeks, we've done it 22 times, resetting it.
And they've been out there numerous times to fix it at like $250 a pop.
Yeah, their labor just to come up here to reset it is $500. But there's 3 of us who know how to reset it now. And when it goes down,
when you're permitted to do so?
Yes.
Thank you.
It's our light.
That's,
Anything else, unfinished business?
That's all I have.
And one other thing in unfinished business, the Butler Petroleum project. They met with the DEP on January 13th. I got a call from Arlene Evans on the, I think it was the 15th. And she told me at the time that the plan that they submitted was not detailed enough. And I just talked to her again last Thursday, and Butler Petroleum is hired Senate Engineering to do draw up a plan, do all the permitting, and it was supposed to be turned into the DEP today for their approval. If they approve it, then they'll issue the permits to get started. Email there. All right, any other unfinished business?
Yeah, streetlights. Did you contact West Bend?
I called him, told him about the one at Cliffs and the one over on,
That one was fixed.
was it? Yours was fixed too.
What about the one on Southern Avenue down there?
We'll get prices on it.
Yeah, I mentioned it. It's been out since November.
I didn't write it down, if you did. There's got the two written down. My fault, yes I did.
Yeah.
I'll call about it. Where's it at? Southern and,
Apricot Flames.
I forget what alley.
Apricot.
And,
apricot.
and,
Officer Hagan said it's apricot.
what is it?
Yeah.
Southern and Apricot.
Apricot.
Yeah.
That's down there by,
It is.
Yeah, we called them multiple times for that one.
I'll call them. They seem, I called them one the other two, they seem to get that done.
Well, most of them are out of state right now, they're up in New York and Vermont working.
But I will call them tomorrow. In fact, I'll get the pool number. That helps them more. All right, new business. All right, blood alcohol kits. I need a motion to purchase 25 blood alcohol kits for the police department at a cost of $192.
I make a motion.
Second.
There may be shipping costs to that, I don't know, that was just the cost of the kits.
Okay, $192 plus possible shipping cost. You made the motion?
Yeah.
Henry seconded.
Yeah, so.
All those in favor? Okay. First resolution.
Okay, the first resolution is to raise the fee assessed by the tax collector for lien letters to $10. I think it has been $5. Can we read it?
Whereas the Borough of Wkcm wishes to raise the fee required to be paid in order to receive a tax letter from the Borough Tax Collector Linda Olinger, and whereas the Borough of Wkcm wishes to raise the tax letter fee to $10 per letter requested. Now therefore it be resolved, the council members of Wkcm and hereby resolved that the council members support the fee increase to $10 per tax letter requested from the Borough Tax Collector Linda Olinger. Motion to accept the
Make the motion.
resolution. Any second?
Second.
All those in favor?
All right.
Is this it? I'm making this.
Okay, the second resolution is for Wkcm Borough to adopt the Emergency Operations Plan, which is, okay, which is prepared and maintained by Mr. Morris. Did you want to speak about it?
No, the operation plan is pretty much up to date and more than what we've ever had right now. We'll probably be going through it again here in the next couple months as time becomes available. There's going to be a lot of drastic differences. It's probably going to hurt some people. It's going to waken some people up. Some people think that we're going to be going the way we have been, and I am still looking for other people to give me a volunteer hand. It has become from 20 pages to a Bible anymore. So I hope that with the okay of council that we pass this resolution.
This resolution approved and adopted by Wkcm Borough and Polk County, Pennsylvania, on the date hereinafter set forth. Witnesseth, whereas Section 7503 of the Pennsylvania Emergency Management Services Code, 35 PA CS Section 101, mandates that Wkcm Borough prepare, maintain, and keep current an emergency operations plan for the prevention and minimization of injury and damage caused by a major emergency or disaster within this borough. And whereas in response to the mandate stated above, this borough has prepared an emergency operations plan to provide prompt and effective emergency response procedures to be followed in the event of a major emergency or disaster. And whereas this borough has also prepared an emergency operations plan in order to reduce the potential effects of a major emergency or disaster and to protect the health, safety, and welfare of the residents of this borough. Now therefore, we, the undersigned council of Wkcm Borough, do hereby approve, adopt, and place into immediate effect the emergency operations plan of Wkcm Borough. This plan shall be reviewed on an annual basis to make certain that it conforms to appropriate guidelines.
Is this a resolution that all municipalities use?
Yeah. It's given to me
It's a standard procedure,
by the
standard forms
Safety Department.
put out by the state.
And this is what you brought to our attention a while back, correct?
All right, I need a motion to approve the resolution for emergency operations plan.
I'll make that motion, Mr. President.
All those in favor?
Council President,
Yes.
if I could speak one moment on this here emergency mitigation plan that you passed. I don't know how much you know of it, but passing that last month, which you did, I presume, going with the county and state procedure with that mitigation plan, which me and the mayor went to on a couple meetings. If we did not have that, we would have to put one out on our own. This here saves the borough money. This saves time in case of disaster and helps everybody out. If we did not have that, we'd have to write one on our own, which would cost thousands of dollars. And it just helps everybody out in the end.
And at that point, we'd have something different from the rest of the municipalities. than just the
You can do that with it. You can modify it if you have to. If anybody would have any other different thoughts of what would need to be modified, I'm more than welcome.
You have any?
Not
Are you okay
yet.
with it as
I'm
written?
okay with it is the way it is. There's been a lot of thought put into it the way it, and it's being used throughout the state.
Thank you.
Okay, this resolution is for the disposition resolution for the destruction of certain borough records. I've gone through all of the records that were in the basement of the old building, in the office of the old building, and in accordance with the Pennsylvania, records retention manual, I've, I guess, identified the records that we can dispose of. And it states that boroughs have to have passed the resolution initially declaring their intent to follow the schedules and procedures for disposition of records as set forth in the Municipal Records Manual approved on July 16, 1993. which was done back on June 3rd, 2002. So this resolution here is just listing the specific records and record title and dates that will be disposed of. And I'll be, either myself or Henry, we were talking about contacting a company that specializes in the destruction of, records, because we can't just like shove them up in the dumpster. No, I would love to though, but we can't.
Well,
So,
Carly, may I share something with you?
yeah,
Did you know that the Progressive Workshop,
yeah, that's
You-
what the county uses.
yes, they just asked for a small donation,
Okay,
okay? And somebody can stand there and witness as they're destroying the documents, because that's what we do with our businesses.
oh, okay, well, thank you for that.
You're
Is that
welcome.
Yeah, thanks, Mike. Is that set forth in that resolution, who has to be present?
No, this is
Nothing there that
just the
says that
records.
a member of council or the secretary treasurer would be present during the destruction of the records?
Well, not in this resolution, but I'll go through the manual
Okay.
and see about that. But this is just, and it might be hard to read aloud.
Yeah. So what do you think of that?
So there's 34.85 cubic feet. I had to calculate it.
There's what?
34.85 cubic feet of stuff. And everything is in the new office, everything's in there and filed and. Yeah.
So we need a motion to accept the disposition resolution for destruction of specific records.
You make that motion.
Second.
All those in favor?
Okay.
Yes. Okay, any other new business?
Just one thing, Mr. President, I'd like to put the senior citizens' use of this building into a resolution form. We gave them permission per se, but with your permission, I'd like to have Andrew draw up a resolution permitting the senior citizens' use of this building in resolution form.
Okay,
All right? Thank
you may contact
you.
us.
Yes, awesome.
Any other new business? Okay, I need a motion to pay the bills.
Motion to pay the December's bills.
Second. Does anybody have any questions on any of the bills? Okay, all those in favor?
I have a letter to be read.
Letters to be read.
I received this via email today, addressed to the mayor and the members of Wkcm Borough Council. Good evening, my name is George J. Vaneski, and I'm a former resident of Wkcm Borough, having spent my childhood in the borough and residing here until 1967. My mother, Marie Vaneski, resides at 307 Arthur Street. It was my intent to attend this meeting tonight in person, but business obligations precluded me from doing so. My mother has resided in the borough since 1950. She is approaching 90 years of age and has experienced a number of surgeries, procedures, and treatments the last 15 years, and is currently in less than ideal health. In recent weeks, there has begun daily and at times incessant burning of materials at a garage at 309 Southern Avenue, with the resultant smoke and fumes spreading throughout the neighborhood. The smoke and fumes are noxious. The smoke, fumes, and stench has permeated my mother's residence at all hours of the day and evening. It has caused my mother to experience coughing, choking, dizziness, and shortness of breath. This has been extremely detrimental to her health. She has had to leave her own residence to escape the smoke and fumes that have entered her residence from this burning. No one should have to leave their residence due to the actions of others. The dense smoke has resulted in a coating of dirt and grime on the outside of the residence. Other residences and a business in the borough have also been affected by the smoke and fumes, truly a public nuisance that needs to be abated. This has become a public safety and public health issue, which I ask that the borough address. Ironically, this burning is occurring near 40 yards or less from the borough building in which you now sit. Additionally, an adverse effect on property values is sure to result. Who would want to purchase a residence or business that reeks of smoke and fumes emanating from an adjoining property? Every resident of the borough has a right to clean air. No one has the right to pollute the air and cause smoke and fumes to enter into occupied residences. Every borough resident of all ages has the right to walk the streets within the borough without exposure to this smoke and fumes. In the spirit of precluding this matter from proceeding to litigation, I would ask that the borough, which is charged with protecting the health and safety of borough residents, address this matter as expeditiously as possible. Please feel free to contact me if you have any questions. Thank you. Sincerely, George Davis.
Any comments?
Just a burn pile outside, or is it a wood burner inside?
He installed a wood burner or some type of furnace. And Mrs. Wisniewski called me twice. Once it was burning outside, and I don't know because of the high fence or what it is, but the smoke just lingers. And then here on January 21st, she called me about some type of furnace he installed inside the garage, which I tried to get a hold of our officer, but he was in court. I happened to talk to the individual, and I asked him if he would mind trying to raise the stack of the furnace, whatever he put in there. And he said, if I raise it, it still doesn't create or stop the problem, what am I supposed to do then? So, at that point, I don't know where to go from. But I know the smoke lingers.
Yeah. I've had a call on that too.
But the outdoor burning is being handled. But with this situation here, I'm not sure what.
I can't get involved
No.
because it's my mother, so I'm gonna have to put it over to you, Henry.
Yeah, I've talked with your mother about it.
I mean, you can talk, you know, to all the individuals and to whomever you want, but it's gonna look like it's gonna boil down to a litigation issue.
Now, the same situation has arisen, we're at Grafton in Pittsburgh. It was on the news that a party had a fireplace and same type of situation. The smoke did not go up, it kind of come out and just lingered.
And that depends on the weather conditions of the night also. If it's a low pressure and there's a downdraft, yes, smoke will linger.
Yeah,
You know, but I wouldn't say it's an everyday occurrence. But and that's the thing, even people with fireplaces in West Buchanan, you go outside and you can smell the wood smoke.
but this is more than just smelling it, it's like a fog. And it just totally lays over there. And nobody should have to inhale or live beside something such as that. I don't know how you can rectify it. We can't put another ordinance in on burning fireplaces. I written to the council down in Pittsburgh where the same situation is going on. I haven't got a reply back from them at all. They're looking into it also. They don't know what they can do. It's a fireplace inside a building. It's like having years ago when everybody had coal furnaces. So it's something just gonna have to be looked into. Somebody happened to, Bob happens to see him burning, just gonna have to go over and see what is he burning? Burning tires, burning plastic it's making such a smoke and smell. I know he's probably trying to get rid of building material. And he never did pay half of the loading cost when he was caught for the dumpster here.
But he should be written up and fined.
So it's something that's just gonna have to
Like I
look
said,
into from time
you know,
to
I
time.
can't get involved. I can give you a little bit of information, Henry. You know, if you wanna look at this stuff, this will inform you what a public, you know, private nuisance is.
But, you know, if he hasn't paid that, whatever that, fine or whatever he's supposed to pay,
And he had agreed to pay it, but it has never come up on the records of being paid.
then I think he should be fined or arrested or something.
All we can do is right now is ask Bob to watch when he's burning, stop over and see what kind of material he's burning. Because the way it sounds like it's just more than just wood. Probably plastic items that's causing such a smell.
I know the day I talked to him, he had the garage door open, and there was smoke inside the garage door. And I said, well, you have a draft cloth in there. He said, no, I just opened and put more coal in there.
It's not cold.
Council, if I may,
Yeah.
have you ever contacted DEP on an air quality?
Yes.
They come here when it's not burning.
Have you kept a record of when he is burning?
Yes.
Time?
Yes.
So we're just gonna have to watch and see once.
You know, like I said,
I know you can't get involved, you just,
I can't get involved, but I would think the council would talk to the solicitor and see
yeah.
what he has to say.
Well, that's why I said he'd be here tonight, but he's not. I was gonna question him.
I have him involved for a day.
Yeah, don't need to keep him.
Okay,
Yeah, you think so?
that's all I have to say on that.
Any other comments? Okay, I need a motion for adjournment.
Motion to adjourn.
And